1, 2, yeah. Active MOORS, more active. Get right to it right quick before I start talking about anything else. While it's on my mind, we were talking about the ranges of kicks, right? Long kicks. My geri, I think my geri is the longest kick. A geri is a kick. You hear me say geri, that's a kick. There's 4 parts to a kick. I'm gonna get into Hawtyy. For those of us who ain't got it like Van Damme, like Bruce Lee, it helps from me personally. It helps when I get into Hawtyy. Right? I forgot the name of this Hawtyy. I get in Hawtyy, it helps me. Because that slightly bended knee, just for the sake of the geri, it helps me to keep my balance. As opposed to the empty city tactic, when we're standing straight up, hands down, non-combative, unaware that we have to be combative. We definitely can and probably should kick from the empty city tactic, right? It doesn't help that I do not have an uke here with me. But depending upon the distance is what type of kick I would employ. Because there are various type of kicks for the same type of attack, but the distance can change that, right? So if the person is coming in, I want to use it for a gun, for a knife, coming this way, or a punch, right? If I have enough distance, I could do a mikazuki geri. A mikazuki geri is a crescent kick. I can set it up depending upon their positioning distance from me, because they are doing this, right? Or stabbing. A straight stab, probably aiming for the throat, maybe the heart, right? Maybe the eye, something like that. Those are prime targets if the stab is at this level. Probably going for my throat, my eye, maybe my heart. Everything plays a part. The height of the person versus my height. You know, if they this short, doing the same thing, of course they're going for here. Maybe that main vein that runs down through here. So I have to be mindful of that. Now mikazuki geri and naka mikazuki geri. One goes in this direction, one goes in that direction. Circumvent the main target. Either hit him in the head, hit his hand, hit his shubo, the tay, might hit him in the tricep, perhaps. Serving to deflect. If it was a punch, serving to deflect. So now, that is not a straight kick. So the straightest kick that I know of is the mageri, or maybe a flying kick, where I would jump up in the air vertically, yet the way I propel myself, I will move also horizontally in the air, like a jet fighter plane. I may flex my foot this way. I don't think you can see my feet. I may flex my foot that way. See what I could do about this. But you can't see me as well. I'd be mindful of where I am. Can you see my feet? Yeah. So, yeah, if I was to do that particular kick, a flying front kick, I'm gonna call it that. The bat out of here. I know of a person who can stand ramrod straight and go into the air, no dip or nothing, ramrod straight, and go up into the air into this kick where he will be up in the air, foot maybe flex this way or that way. Maybe this way. They talked about the heel, toes pulled back, the heel, toes pulled back, the ball of the toe, or the blade. With the foot, it looks the naked foot without a shoe on. That's the blade. That's the ball of the toe. That part right there. And that's the heel. You gotta pull them back. Pull them toes back to land with that heel, the ball, or the blade. Now with this flying kick, you can twist your waist this way to get that blade going. A lot of times you'll see them like this, right? This will be tucked. Once they take flight, looks a lot like that. And of course you probably have variations of that. Now, those are the only two straightforward kicks that I can think of right now. So back to the my geri. My geri is ideal because it's longer than the jab. Left, right. Am I in there? I don't know if you can see these though. If I had some shoes, I didn't bring any shoes. Do these. Okay, he's standing orthodox. So, as you can see by looking at me, with that foot, top of this foot right here, the instep, the leg doesn't start till you get about right here. Here. That's the shin, ankle, going up. Right? So the body is actually, let me just stand here and make it easy. The body is actually here. Can they see that? Yeah, they can see that. The body is actually here. My head cut off. It's not really there. So when we are practicing, like I'm practicing right now, my argument is that you can get a lot in without an actual sparring partner. And you should. You really should. We can do a lot of kick on. Kick on could be something as simple and excruciatingly painful as taking a piece of steel or wood or something and tapping the shin. Tapping that elbow, tapping these knuckles, chopping that piece, chopping it. Sometimes places like this, this is very hard, granted. A lot of times I will beat this like I'm beating a drum, but I'm using every part, the palm, the blade, inverted fist, one knuckle, two knuckle, all the knuckles, hawtyyyReddd, shuto, all this, backhand even, which is very, very sensitive, right? Drop the shubo, drop the MP, right? Have sense, don't break your arm. Don't shatter your bone, have some sense. Knock, knock, knock. Anytime you do this, it's like the Chinese water torch thing I was talking about. That concept of that little bit over time, it builds up. You see a lot of Muay Thai practitioners, stuff like that. You can't see that. They'll kick trees with the shin. Shingeri. Bah! Mawashigeri. Bah! Onto the tree. You can build yourself up to that point. So when you do these type of things on your own time, they make you more of a formidable opponent when you get to your opponent. But I have personally seen real Shaolin monks who had actually went to Shaolin in China, get in the boxing ring, right? With a like mixed martial art type of fight, whatever you want to call it. Every man go for what he know. He was against like a boxer. And I think you could kick. So you can say kickboxing. And he got beat up. So just because you have Qigong and you can call up those inner forces to withstand an onslaught, doesn't mean you have to. You still, this is why it's my beef with Mike Tyson. You still can utilize, you have lung, put it, yin yang. Yin yang. Now, one is dragon. Like the geri, for instance. If I just come back in my stance and send, I'm gonna do a regular 4-part kick, trying to keep my head in there. That's what's slowing me down. I keep gotta peek to see if I'm in the camera. That's slowing me down a lot, because I'd have been there did some shit. But if I get out of view, I'd just be getting musty for nothing. So I'm gonna do a basic Nisi Goju, 5 stance down, 4-part kick. Or, and notice when I landed forward, my guard changed from here to here, because now this is forward. I'm slightly bladed, right? Now that kick can be utilized to touch vitals without me venturing in to be struck by the Teiwaza of my opponent. This is Tei. Hands are the lifeblood of karate. So it's very convenient, because this is the jab of the Geri family. Geris are kicks. This is the jab of the Geri family. The jab of the judo or sweets family, which I shouldn't even put it in there. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for that. I'm gonna break this thing down. Give it to you slow. I ain't got much set anyway to share. Cause they be blackballing me everywhere I go. Next thing you know, they have a class, I ain't heard about it. They had a tournament 5 months ago. I'm just not hearing about it, too late. Can't get in there, can't even go observe. A lot of people in my class are antisocial towards me. My class says. The only one who was pulling me in was Arthur. Nisi Goju. I'm kind of loud too. I heard that way, come back from way down there. Nisi Goju. I hope you can hear me. Nisi Goju. Arthur was the only one. Come on, come on. But that's when Sensei Nasty Jesse B. Richardson, Nisi Goju master, was having us, he wanted us to spar. I don't do sparring. I don't need to get beat up to learn how not to get beat up. Every time as I progressed in my childhood, when I picked up a technique, I studied it. I saw it. I might have to practice with somebody I was with, a couple of them I did. To be extra sure, I kind of knew what I thought I saw. But when game time came, ain't no referee, ain't no judges, ain't no police to help me. It's do or die. On a dime, I pull it off. Study, study, study. And when you have finished studying, I would say study yourself. You watch clips of Bruce Lee, many times he's by himself. By himself. right? And a lot of stuff he did by himself is why when he got this, with somebody in front of him, everything was so effective. The 6-inch punch and all the stuff he's doing. You know, the quickness of the Tawaza and the geri. He had a nunchucker. He ain't beat nobody ass with no nunchuck for practice. He by himself hitting the wind. Right? But when he has to go in front of an opponent, he came up under what? Ip Man, Shabbat Bon Long and them, right? When he was home at Shaolin, right? Out of Shaolin comes most of the stuff we know over here in the States. Unless you got something from somebody like Coach Ross or Tax Jim or something like that. But if you go to the average Mac Dojo, a lot of that stuff you can find in Shaolin. And there was a time, I mentioned this a few posts previously, it was a time post-colonial in these states, post-colonial, a lot of people, if they didn't have somebody teach them, like a father, a grandfather, somebody like that, they had no idea about a dojo. So by the time we started seeing the movies in the 60s/70s up in there, this is from what I'm hearing from a lot of people I study under. You know, it was times when you didn't have anybody but like Grandmaster Ronald Duncan, ninjutsu. Ron Van Cleef studied up under somebody, I can't remember the name. Visitation, Grandmaster V. Or Master V, Grandmaster V, whatever. The short one, not the female I talk about. That's Grandmaster Veronica Walker. I'm not referencing her right now. It's Master V. Visitation, that's one of the teachers of Doc, of Sanuki's Real Jiu-Jitsu, Dr. Moses Powell. So it was a time, the majority of people that I've come across in real life and online, they say when they from back in those times, Bruce Lee was like one of the only one teaching. And he got to a point he started teaching elites, and he would charge a lot of money. They had the money, and he'll put in a lot of time, a lot of expertise. So Bruce Lee, I brought it up because Bruce Lee is quoted as saying eventually he went home to Shaolin, the real Shaolin. He's half like Al Bayan, half Chinese, if I remember correctly, from his parents. And he said to them, I wish I would have never left home. Because as much as he did with Jeet Kune Do and everything else he has up under his belt as Master Bruce Lee, or Grandmaster, whatever his title was when he transitioned, he knows it's generations, it's thousands upon hundreds of thousands of years of stuff in Shaolin. Now Shaolin, per se, not exactly that long. And there's a calendar date for that, with the story about Damo, the monk Damo and all that, the Ming Dynasty. But the monk, the priest, the Buddha, Damo, where he came from, East Africa, Grandmaster Anthony Amp Elmore. Grandmaster Anthony Amp Elmore talks about Damo in East Africa, which we call India, East Africa, where it is believed strongly is where Damo came from. Now, in that continent, in the continent of Africa, we have proof. And right here in these states, we have proof. That's why people like Coach Ross of Attack Gym, I will cite them with the quickness. I would rather you take a class from him than me. Because if you do prefer me, that's all you're gonna get is something from Coach Ross, something from Doc, Frank Ruiz, Grandmaster Frank Ruiz. I can only give you what I have. Coach Ross is still alive. Grandmaster Frank Ruiz transition, Doc transition, my personal master, Grandmaster, Sensei Jerry Denson, Professor Jerry Denson, he transitioned. I have other grandmasters, but they sprinkle crumbs. They don't really train me. I haven't been trained yet. Other than Mike Timotas, Sensei Mike, ICN, Lil Haiti, right over there where the trailer park used to be. Trailer home. It's a park now. I forgot the name of that park. Just north of 62nd and just east of Northeast 2nd. Me and Sensei Mike, he had to leave town for some personal business. We was just about to hook up in like 2023. But some things happened. I had problems with my landlord. Really screwed my life up real bad. Real bad. So now, Bruce Lee says that he wished he never left home. When Sensei Geri Denson was telling me it gets to a point he will do this, he tell you go somewhere else. When you come back, most definitely now, because that was my first class. So when you come back, most definitely, I am expected to share something now. Because every time, most classes at the end of the study teaching for that day, Sensei Geri or Sensei Jesse B. Richardson or Grandmaster Herbie Thompson, they would ask, anybody have anything they would like to share? Anybody have a problem they want to, you want to know how to get out the fullness? That's the time to go ask, because he can't possibly tackle everything that probably in the mind of the students. The reason why they came to the class. You might need to speak up. You do need to speak up. Sensei Geri, Grandmaster Herbert Thompson, Sensei Grandmaster Jesse B. Richardson, they gave me so much when I went to class. I was so busy trying to get what they gave, I would not interrupt. And by the time they asked that, I know from experience, I gotta dwell on what I got before I forget. I just got it. I gotta start dwelling. I start getting to the point I write down on the paper before I leave that building, that spot. Sensei Geri Denson had class at his sister house over by Carroll City Chiefs at that time, just north of 183rd. He had it set up like a library on the periphery of the mats. When we get down that stretch and we do Kumite and all that, and go over OG Waza, right on the periphery was books. He had a whiteboard with the felt tip mark, whatever, erasable marker, whiteboard. He had books, the library, all kind of stuff. So I get a piece of paper, go to write down everything. Japanese term, Chinese term, Korean terms, or diagram, or the person or whatever attack that I was taught, my response technique, whatever my response technique was about, whatever my setup technique was about, because it's all quote unquote defense or response technique, because we are not to be the aggressor. Even if we take a preemptive strike. Since I'm talking about my geri, I'm a slide rule. Bah! Now, I did that because he hadn't reached me yet, but I know he coming. And I see an opening. So I slide rule, 4 parts to a kick. I sent to my geri, and in all actuality, I went a little closer than that. I feel like I probably would have hit him so up in here, but this time I see for sure I should have, since I stopped there, the length of my leg, I should have been going for that. That's his lead left. Right here. When we get in the street, Master Raheem Campfield, he calls it foot fight. You gotta be nimble, gotta be clever. Because one thing about using your geris and your sweeps, it takes you off of one foot. And with real good people as opponents, they don't need but that little fraction of a second to close that gap. especially when you're just in the chamber. You know, when I'm coming through here, I might not do it perfectly. See, a perfect chamber, I'm gonna go here. You know, I might just slide, but he might do something by the time, but before I can get right here, he might rush me. And I'm coming, by the time I get here, I'm on 1 foot, basically. This coming up off the ground. I'm raising this. Now, if he rushed me, like I be telling y'all football players especially, I see you niggas fighting on the field, maybe you scared to get a fine and go to jail. That's probably why. Y'all don't do them but rough house and all that little whole ass shit. That's probably what it is. I understand. You got a good job, you can make a lot of money. You don't want to go to jail and lose your job. I understand, but man, when it's life and death, you running a 40-yard dash at what speed? You coming out the blocks from here to there? How fast can you get from here to here? Usain Bolting up out of it. So now, if you use some common sense, it's not a track meet, so I can't. But look, even in track, what do we do in track? Don't we do that? To prepare, right? To prepare. So if I want to take off, because I say every time you think you practice doing something to someone, also practice them doing that to you, and what are you going to do about that? Nothing is foolproof. Don't ever think you got the ultimate little technique of, yeah, no. That could be capitalized upon. There's all kind of stuff I can do when you doing something. Matter of fact, people with more seasoning, a lot of times they will bait that something. So if I want to bait, for instance, we still talking about closing that gap. That's all. So I'm not really getting out the subject. We just using my geri because that's the longest strike, and I just showed you that. But I sent it to a shin geri like height. If I kick somebody here, we call that shin geri. My geri usually is coming here, right? For me to get here, a lot of times I'm gonna do something different, like something I'm not gonna say right now, because I ain't gonna give it so much at a time. I'm saying a lot. Some people may come across this and even take notes. So I'm also kind of taking it easy on somebody who's very serious. If I had it, I lost everything I had, but I could show you, I could have Chinese and Japanese in that language, in that ideogram that I could show. Diagram, all that. But the Jacobites in my area got together. Those who overthrew my people, I'm a Bahamian. On the patrilineal line, Bahamian descent. On the matrilineal, Creek Nation, Geechee Gullah. So my people, that Trail of Tears type of thing, that's been going on the whole time. That's why they call us roaches. They can't totally get rid of all us. Some kind of way is always something to do today, because we still here. We are talking to this landmass. You don't like it, get the hell on. They like to give us a lot of hell. Many of you may have met people like me who date back to 1970 something, 80, 60, 50, 40, 30, the early 1900s, maybe even the late 1800s, who can tell you about what they did here. The dirty mold, the Albion, and those turncoat, mutinous ones that are all talking to this landmass. Wilkie D. Ferguson, for example, Bahamian descent. But he did a lot of things when he got that position that was not in our favor. It was against us. ILA, local number 1416. We have collectively voted certain people to that position of whatever it was when he basically sold our land. Now, right up against the building, against the hall, on 2nd Avenue Northwest and 8th Street. We could be parked right there, and the doggone city of Miami Inquisition agent of Rome want to put a parking ticket on. They done Wicked D. Ferguson, not Wicked D. Ferguson, I'm sorry. That particular president at the ILA. That's where that new building at, to the north of Lyric Lounge. It's a big old new building. It's like a condo. A million stories up in the sky. And a lot of other stuff around it, that belongs to the ILA. Now we barely got to pay to park like 8 cars without them wanting to write a ticket. So you have the fraud is on both sides. So anyway, that's why I don't have this. That's why I had gloves. I had brand new gloves, hand wrap, all kind of stuff. Hands and feet. I was just about to get mats, dojo mats, right? So I could lay them out and have about 12 couples. 12 couples. Like that's 12 people. So you got 6 groups, right? It's 2 in each group. That's 12. So you need another space. We do sweeps, we do throws, we do kimi rolls, right? Try to see if I pronounce that right. Cause we got the kabuki ibuki. Okay, kabuki ibuki. That's breathing cop. That's breathing, like the great kabuki, the wrestler. Ibuki, kabuki called ibuki. But ukimi, I said that right. Ukimi rolls. We do judo sweeps and throws, right? So we got to break fall. I was talking about that one time about people who can go up in the air and come down on their upper back. They tuck their head like this and land on their upper back, legs straight up in the air, upside down, tuck their head like that and let the upper back contact the ground and cushion the fall. You got a lot of different schools of break fall. So Doc, Sanuki Real Jiu-Jitsu, Grandmaster Moses Powell. That's why I got my break falls from there. Break falls by my sensei. He usually teaches ukimi rolls along with the break fall. Now, I'm not gonna go no further than that. I said enough on that. We doing distance. A lot of people get befuddled and try things at the improper distance. So now the technique is all wrong, not slightly wrong. Some people talk about that hook like this, the hook like that, right? Also, if I'm not close enough, it got to be more like a slap, because it's not feasible for me to turn my hand this way. Once my hand I might break something. That's not bridged proper, that's not supported proper. Now I can slap. I don't like to slap like this. I like to slap with the tiger, right? Or I can haito, right? Right? I can also hook that around the back and catch him back here. That's cranium, neck, right? Do something with that. It's so much shit we can do. Sometimes I hate to even get into one specific, because about 5 or 10 different things come to mind right then. They say each technique bears 1,000 variations, especially when I'm in public. You know, the basis of what I'm doing is jogging, running, bike riding, mountain climbing, rope climbing, stuff like that, so that I don't gas out. When I'm doing something like a body blow, I'm doing a squat / dash lunge. And I notice a lot of professionals, you watch them in the fight, it's like round 2 or 3. And he looked at kind of like, he kind of got, it kind of worked, it kind of gassed him. You can see it taking it, he's slow. His form is not as good as it should be when it comes down to protecting yourself. You should never do a body, because this one of them, I'm not going on a tangent. talking jab, my geri, to cover that distance when I'm not in position to do hooks, shovels, uppercuts, right, overhands. I can't do none of that from out here. Nope, right? But a jab, see? But when you can be kicked, that means you can kick. If it's sport, competition. If you in the streets, it's whatever go, whatever's clever. Anything goes. So you can be mindful, you can be kicked. Right? You can be tackled. So the traditional boxing, I gotta be real nifty if I wanna insist on boxing. I gotta be ready to do wrestling moves because he may not want to box with me. So when I cover this, for the jab, that we doing for the longest k+NOW is the jab. So I have to get in range. But when I get in range to strike, I'm also in range to be grabbed, tackled, thrown, swept by a grappler or judoka. We don't want that. Being that I want to k+NOW, if I know some karate, I may want to do some of that. So I may want to say, hawtyyyReddd to the carotid artery. That's a lot like a jab. That's a lot like a jab. I want to stay on this grass. I want you to see my feet. I gotta stay like right here. It's cool though, cause I don't need to be jumping around too much anyway. I ain't come to get all sweaty. I came to just talk and show you a little, just let you see the visual. I don't have a partner. Gotta make it real quick and easy. But that's a lot like a jab, but it's not straight, it's circuitous. You got it? It's ha! Make it land and have that impact you want it to have. The temple is artery right here, this main vein. You might want to hit the jawline, that'll work. This is very, very crucial. You don't want to get hit from the temple and the jawbone and that line, that part that connects from the temple to that jawbone area to the chin. That's just to name one target right up in this area. The other day when I say there's a lot going on up in here, and I said that, yeah, we'll be for days and days talking about all the different things we can do. Right? Right now we're talking about hawtyyyReddd because it has distance. I can cover distance. Why is this important? I can strike a person in a vulnerable area without lending my whole body to them to do what they want to do. To me, the closer I get, the more crucial it gets for me. And it's hard. I got to worry about my groin area and my head. That's why I did that just then. See? That way if somebody coming in with a geri to the groin, right? Let me do that just right. Because I said what I did. I think I did this right. I came in unorthodox. Yeah, okay. I did that right. So if I was that person, I could have came around, okay. My geri to the groin. Or my hawtyyyReddd. Up here, right here to the temple, right here. I've seen k+NOW do one to another area. I'm not gonna show you that. Can't give you everything I got. I ain't got but so much. If I put it in the book might be this big. Now look. So this is for my hawtyyyReddd. What I just did was in case he threw a hawtyyyReddd from his left foot or power side my geri, or even a slide. But since I did a power side, I made sure I kept it like that. That's what I did, right? That's what it's for. If you shot a my geri, bam! It could have been either or, really, for the my geri. But this just in case. You see, some of the stuff we do is not because that's what they're doing. That in particular, because you wouldn't know that at all. I wouldn't know that a person is going to do a my geri. That's 1 foot of my geri, or even 2 feet. But I don't know what the hell he's going to do with his body, right? But I know I'm in range for certain things to happen. That part. So when I come in range, hey, it's something they did. Well, I'm not going to sit here and not have some cover for my growing. But there are other things I could do. Nisi go Jew. We would come out. Oh, the kata. Yeah, every kata. Every kata, we say, right here. See, this protects my growing. And also, I could put some tailwires or uke tail where I can catch that. A lot of times we do this, but in reality, when we're in front of a person, a practitioner, whatever, some person, I could do a downward X block and catch that right up in here. When it's here, I can X block that. I can catch it. I could pull it up and have them all balanced. I could pull them to the side, throw them all balanced. Not only stopping him from striking me with a geri, I could now take him off of his balance. Right? I could do something more like jujitsu. When I catch it, when I'm pulling up, pop, go to the nuts, right? Pop, pay to it, and I still got his leg, right? I can come down on this part of the leg, pull down, push up on there, hey, right? And sweep, you can still see that? And sweep, hey. See? So, these things I'm doing are setting the stage. For me to do a series of things that's going toward me taking them out. I want to push a button that he's not going to let me just walk up and touch him. Sometimes they will. Me personally, I don't bank on somebody being easy. I don't underestimate what this person is going to do. So here we go, still want to be a stand-up fighter, like Sensei House, Mike House. He told me, he said, we stand up. We stand up niggas. We would rather, not just in real life, he was talking about the real life too, but he was also talking about the fight game. We would rather be here. We got hands and feet, knees and elbows. We real good there. He was also talking about that. So you gotta earn the right to fight the way you wanna fight. Because a person will change that quick. It's so many American wrestling moves, it'll blow your mind. So-called, it's not necessarily American, but what you will learn in a wrestling elective at high school. Like I was talking about Russian Thai. Now they probably call it Russian Thai because it got it from Russia. So that's not American, quote unquote, but the wrestling in high school, we had some bad boys in Columbia High. I graduated in 1991. He might have graduated 91 or 90. He went to work for the Pentagon. He was a bad boy. I met a person with Nathaniel Face in Joe Johnson Boulevard. Little small little dude. He was a bad boy. He took Face out in a wrestling match. Took him out just like that. You never know what they're gonna do. So your shots are more important than the boxing match. When you got gloves on and all that, and rules, no hitting below the belt, mouthpiece, all that, might have some headgear, amateur. Your shots are way more important than wrestling. I mean boxing, in wrestling. And you need to employ some karate and wrestling, even when you don't want to. So now, I got a stand-up game, and we still talking about closing that gap from the outside. What I showed you the other day, getting off his jab, using that hip to drive me, and how we got with it, and how if it was you on the other foot, the shoe was on the other foot, and you threw that, and somebody did that to you, and nobody was talking about that, that was more par. Now, here's another case scenario. I'm trying to come in with a geri, cut that distance, or I'm trying to get and do the boxing game of inches in boxing, the game of inches in boxing, the game of inches in boxing, the game of inches. We don't want to go but so far. Sometimes in regulation sport boxing, oh yeah, of course, they say get out of there. You know, after a while, after a certain combination, one or two combinations, you do want to exit out. However you're going to exit out, create that distance, breathe, drop your guard even, and relax. It's just sport. Take that luxury. You can do that. Mayweather does it all the time. Once he transitioned from the monster he used to be into Pretty Boy Floyd, into Money Mayweather. I think it was Pretty Boy Floyd and Money Mayweather. So Pretty Boy, I don't even know why he called himself that. Probably because he hardly got hit. But he was showed up giving it out, wasn't he? Bit. He was giving out way more as Pretty Boy Floyd. When he went to Money Mayweather, he gave less punishment. He get out more. You don't get punished, but it was less. And it was more set up, confusing stuff, and all kind of stuff. He was more classic, more tactic, you know, and less just. I mean, he was giving out combinations. You wonder why the guy ain't failed yet. When he was Pretty Boy Floyd, the young Floyd Mayweather. But all that to say, when you talking survival, you finna go to the military and be in the battlefield, or wherever you at, survival, life or death, blood sport. Now, while you trying to use the distance to protect everything else, right? He might rush you. So if he shoot, he up here faking like he got hands. A lot of times till they see you got hands and they really ain't got it anyway. Now they wanna, he may be garbage at his shoot. He may be a tactician. He may be very, very good. So I'm just giving the basic. This is just a basic shoot. If he more skilled, he'll probably look more like this. If he garbage, he probably kind of lazy. He probably kind of try to lay his weight on you, knock you down, tackle shoot. Don't realize how messed up that position he put himself in. And a lot of us don't even know what to do to take advantage of the fact if they is garbage. Because if they ain't garbage, they can still get it, right? So this in the family. He might try to shoot, wrap his hands here, wrap his hands here, wrap his hands here. Might try to catch these if you got your hand down. So I'm gonna do a basic response to the shoot while I'm trying to box. I'm trying to box, kick. I'm trying to basically kickbox or Muay Thai. But to get in there, get all them sweet Muay Thai elbows and them knees, I gotta get in range. And most people ain't gonna let you walk up. It's not making love. Right? It's not an orgy here going on. This is a fight. So when I'm stalking, right, and he shoot, Imagine wherever you see my hands at, that's really his shoulder. Not so much to the top, but right in the back. When we do them dumbbell fly, bent over dumbbell fly, we're trying to work that part, that upper shoulder back. Because that's going to be like the table. If you do if you kind of come perfectly like this, sometimes it can be kind of up. You got different ways they come in when they wrestle, because it's different things they about to do. It's different routes, a lot of different routes. In that general, using that general technique of coming in like this, right? It's a million things you can do. You got different heights, because they finna do something specific. They know what they finna do. What you gotta do is try to hurry and knock the width out of his ass. Take his sight, legs, and win. Be honest, jujitsu. You gotta earn the right to do jujitsu. But what you don't do is have too much confidence in where you are right now. When they start that shit. Because this is not just a kick where I can iron wall. Bah! Pretty shit. Right? Do the basic down block. Bah! No. That ain't gonna work. Gonna be like a train. You gonna come in, bam! I'll be down, tapping out. If it's life or death, probably dead. So this time, I'm gonna let the invisible uke, right, do a shoot, a basic shoot. So I'm boxing, bop. I want to get in, and if it's real life and death, I'm probably not quite looking so nifty. I know in my mind what I want to do, but I know once my foot lands somewhere up in here, I gotta go on and throw it up. Unless I'm doing something different. But right now I am doing that, telling you beforehand so you can know and know what to look for. So I'm trying to say, pop, something like that. But he rushes me, right? So I sprawl. So where my hands are is not the ground, it's his shoulder. My legs are back, so he can't wrap my legs. He can't wrap my waist bone, my hip bone, my waistline, my hip bone, my knees, my shins, and my ankles. He can't get my wrist, right? This is what makes 52 blocks so good when you got it like Onique Bourne, Sensei Mo. If you don't know them, look them up. Mr. 52, Ramel, Light Burley, look them up. Bartenders, Constellation, look them up. If you ain't got it like that, these be moving like hummingbird wings. See this shit I'm doing? They hardly do this alto style. This Atlanta. Sensei Mo them, they do head tap. Right? Closing doors. Right? Skull and crossbone. A lot of times you see Light Burley, he cancel out. For what's gonna come behind that, he'll do something like that, cancel out. I still don't know exactly the exact application for that. But I know about the skull and crossbone, this part, right? Closing doors. I say head tap, elbow tap, right? Now when you see them do that, that helps a lot when somebody wanna grab something. Even if it's closed, because they can't find it. And if they try to do, they dumb when they got it like that. Because by the time, if they train it up under somebody like Sensei Mo, Ramel, like Burley, by the time they get it like that, when they move, I don't do it. I'm slow when it comes to that. I only do it so fast. They can do that shit, like I say, like a hummingbird. If you ever see they gotta slow the camera down. And watch that hummingbird, just for you to start seeing that actual flutter. The up and down, they gotta slow the camera down for you to see that. Now, Onique Bourne, Sensei Mo, people like that, like Burley, Ramil, that's how they got their 52s going. Brrr. Now that makes it hard for a wrestler to do some of these tactics. When I say it's variations of the shoe, to go get the ankle, get the knee. Because once they get it, with that momentum, they gonna drop a certain way, roll a certain way. You gonna fall a certain way that's predictable. That way they can go through the whole rigmarole and land and stop right where they want. Now you choked out by their leg or something like that, and this discombobulated. And if it's a competition in a gym somewhere, you can tap out. If you in the streets, you fucked up. And to make it worse, if they don't have a blade, they can just choke you out. Break a limb. That's why this shit's so important. If I sprain my fingers, sprain my wrist, elbow joint, rotator cuff and all that, clavicle, collarbone, a rib fracture or broke, a rib can break, splinter, and go into an organ like a liver or heart, like a knife, basically, from a strike. It's crucial to try your best not to get touched, not to get grabbed. Uchi uki. I say we do sepao suto. Yoshojuso. Everything I touch, I want it to be debilitating. I don't want to dilly-dally. If it's not a nerve cluster that I struck to basically elicit a response like this. You know, somewhere he limp, he can't do Uda. No observation, no orientation, no decision making, no action taken other than about to fall out or fall out. And the sooner the better. Now, being that this person is belligerent, I may have to deal with something while I'm trying to do. We on my geri and the jab, right? Basically, while I'm trying to get my jab in, right? Since I talked about that, let's say hawtyyyReddd. HawtyyyReddd, because he threw something in there, so that's like the skull and crossbone. HawtyyyReddd. I lift the wing up using the MP to catch a fist and lift it up so it won't come this way. Right? If I'm early, it'll hit that. If I'm right on time, I lift it and it'll shoot over or knock him up like that. If I'm dead on time, his fist will go right into that bone, that rock. Bop! It might hurt him. That'd be nice. So I'm a hawtyyyReddd. Because I tried to get in range to do mine. He beat me too. Oh, bop. Now from there, I'm pretty much under that side, that lead side. Start over. I tried to do this. I didn't do this. He beat me. Bah! So right when I did this, slow it down so you can see it. Since I got under that, I'ma stay under it. I'ma cover, and I'ma go in. Bah! And hit him right up in here. Cause he did this and got knocked up, or he bumped it, or got knocked kind of up, or ran into it. But before he could recoil and cover this up good, I'm gone. Bah! To hit him. Since that's his left side, keep it real. That's his left side. One time here, and the next one, try. If he's still there, try. That uppercut was meant to come upwards. So we go downward in a crescent, upwards in a crescent. Uppercut, the shovel gonna do it. It's close to a crescent, that angle. It's like a crescent. That's to give problems to the heart. So on the left side is his heart, right? So I tried to come in, probably jab somewhere in the chin somewhere, in the eye, nose, throat, and I saw something coming in, oh shit, bah! Right? Hawtyyyuke, kind of like skull and crossbone, but it's just hawtyyyuke. I just, out of habit, I put that there. If it's good if you do have that habit. Because what's happening is, this is the principal interceptor, but it might not be fast enough. So this is here to catch. Right? So here I go. Oh. Bing! And notice where my foot is and his foot is at. I mean, all that rib is sitting right there. Sitting right in line with my shin. So when I stepped off like that and hit him, bing! I'm not all the way to the side. I'm still kind of like in the front. This part's still in front. So I'm gonna send one up in here. It don't have to be perfect because I'm coming off the side. So probably come board like this. But that force and power in that direction, it simulates a heart attack. So notice what I just did was something like 52. Hawtyyyuke. Hawtyyyuke. Let me make sure this still recording. It's still recording? Are we? Are we on the air? Are we live? Are we on the air? 1 hour and 10 minutes? 1 hour, 2 minutes? Look like it count. So now, Hawtyyyuke looks kind of like skull and crossbone. Skull and crossbone. And I told you, like Burley does something here, I think Ramel too. He like cancels out something that might have came up under here after that first shot. But I don't know exact. I see it, but I ain't caught it yet. Because the times I go in there, there's never a time when he's breaking that part down. I saw him break the skull and crossbones down. Kind of tighten me up on that. Because it's hard when you don't have a teacher with you. See that flaw right away and check it out. So when you learn online, observing, and don't get to talk to the practitioner, it's robbing you of more deeper knowledge, understanding of what you got. I was raised, I'm gonna take a break on that, because that's pretty good. Each technique there's 1,000 variations. I just show really more like fight science, battle plan. Like, the idea was to get in and deliver some punishment. Bearing in mind what you can do before you get in to get down. When you see Pacquiao doing all this stuff, Pacquiao, see, he in there. He in there when you do that. You gotta earn that position, that real estate. You gotta earn that spot. And if dude is wide awake because you ain't hurt him, you in the danger zone for real. And that's another thing about out here. Out here, we need to be trying to do our most damage out here. So when you get in, it's hard for me to generate that power I need to throw them hooks, them uppercuts, them shovels, them overhands, because my leg fucked up, my dick fucked up, my pelvic bone fucked up. Even if it's something like a nerve strike enough to get a momentary paralysis-like type of response, or mawashigeri to my lead hamstring, a Mawashigeri well placed right there, or maybe my kneecap. Right? Boom, to get just enough for it. I'm not gonna do much to you in that brief second or two. If it's a good one, I might be fitted for a while. Because I really need to nurse that and not fight. But my opponent is not gonna allow that. They're gonna fuck me up. That's what they about to do. So if I was to do something like that, bop, 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 and put that Mawashigeri on that ham, that lead left ham, foot fall, that fourth part of my kick took me forward instead of bow here, I went bow and planted, and right on the plant. I need to be doing something. You got a lot of choices. What you can do. We want to do the most crucial. And also what we want to keep in mind, you never know how well they're doing. So if I did do that, since we did that, if I fucked around, bah, and came through, if I land one or two, right, beep, beep, I want to skip back out here, skip over here, anything but stay right here and try to just eat up. Get out of there don't always mean get out. Sometimes it's just get around. But I'm still I can touch it. And that's what I'm doing. Right? So when I do this move over here, when I say instead of staying here and do everything I can, well, once or twice, right? But I might say, change position. See? Depending on how you're acting right now, whether or not I'm gonna take advantage of this position. And just shoot something through there. Right? I might change again if I actually hit it. I might deal with something he got coming at me. Right? Right, block. But I don't want to just go in right now, so I might step off and do something. So, the mindset, knowing what can be done to me and to them, right? That's why I choose to move how I move and choose to try to get as much sniping, right? As much sniping done as possible with the long kicks and the long jab. They don't call it a jab. When you got that power, they call it a power, a lead power, or if you adopt the stance, it's a lead left. Lead right, power left. Because jabs actually are not to be so powerful. You have different types of jabs. So textbook, you know, a jab is doing something. Sometimes jab, it is debilitating. It is the knockout. Because in all actuality, it don't take much on certain buttons. It don't take much to knock you out. Thing is, getting in position to carry that out and not get knocked out yourself. Plus, that person, the fortitude, the composition of a particular person, they probably can take more beating from you. So what you might have knocked out 18, 20, 30 people with, you might do that person 5 times in a row, they're still standing. So that's why stick and move is so important. We don't really want to realize we need to then start. You're probably too late. You probably won't get to that point where you realize. Because while you in there doing your thing, you ain't sticking and moving. That's it right there. That's all they need. Right? And I said I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it. But niggas that know what they know, I'm way more live than this. And I'm worse now, because I know more technique. But I'm way live. Footwork, Tawaza, I'm live. First of all, you ain't gonna see it. You don't even have a body there, or not even a heavy bag. What's that? What are you doing? Stand right here, I'll show you. I'll break it out real slow, I won't even hurt you. But I might touch a spot so you can see. And I stop right there. I won't even hit you. Just show you. Stop right here. Stop right here. Right? I stop. My students. What I'm doing, the technique. To show them, like blood child sometimes blood child didn't want me to touch it. So to show them, because nigga be thinking, oh, what's that? If you ain't, there's a lot of people ain't never got their ass whipped. Like a practitioner would whip your ass. You don't realize what's all the smorgasbord of opportunity that the human body anatomy carries. So I would poke, press, knock, and oh yeah. Now imagine if I took and bam, now they get the idea. Without me having to actually beat them up. We could do this all day long, 2-3 hours straight, get a good class in, nobody got hurt. But you gotta remember, you gotta rehearse it in your mind. You gotta rehearse it in your mind over and over again, over and over again. Now nation, knowledge. We are not to be the aggressor. If I was in class, just a student, what's my belt? Green? I'm a green belt. And the sensei told me, you want to see the virtual. Permission is for sensei, needs to go Jew. Grandmaster Frank Ruiz. If I receive permission, because it's sensei, I have a many senseis, right? We should always stay in the fighting spirit of Nishigoju Karate. We should always practice patience. We should always practice courtesy. We should be quick to seize opportunity. Nothing is impossible. We should always be aware. Now that right there, many times, my sensei, Geri Denson especially Sunday, he would hand out ditto sheet. Everybody got the same sheet. You're never too old to learn. And we'll start going in the mindset of pre-combat. How do we continue to go about our day and not have to do this? That's very, very crucial, very important. The virtual's tied up. But the arch deceiver, the devil, if you want to go by the bibliotech, the arch deceiver, the devil is the chief deceiver. And the devil will have you tricked before you even realize the conscious mind can get a hold of yourself. You done got in some trouble. The devil is a liar. We have to keep ourselves vigilant of master of self, self-mastery. First of all, like the virtues. We should always stay in the fighting spirit of Nishigoju Karate. So Grandmaster Jesse B. Richardson, he don't even talk about not fighting. You got a mama, you got a daddy, you go to school, you go to church, you come in his dojo, we gonna fight. That's Grandmaster Jesse B. Richardson, Nasty Jesse. Now, but he will give you the virtual. And many times his black belts, purple belt, brown belts, he'll have them go out before the class, a lot of times a lot of small ones, and kick out just like I did and go over the virtuals. That's about it you're gonna get from him. Nasty Jesse. Everything else is some nasty. You see the man. May God bless his soul. Now, Sensei Jerry, Professor Jerry Denson, we will have long talk, about an hour, 30 minutes. Because what happens, the human brain can get caught up in the moment. And he knows what he's looking at, this class full of black belts. And if you know Sanuki Ryu Jiu-Jitsu, especially under Redd, and Professor Jerry Denson, you ain't get that black belt out no Cracker Jack box. That ain't no Happy Meal black belt. That ain't no Mac Dojo. You put in years of blood, sweat, and tears if you got a black belt from Sensei Jerry. Right? Shihan Kenny. You would, even Grandmaster Herbie Thompson. That's another one of Sensei Jerry's actual teachers. Baby Dog, Sensei Baby Dog, Sensei Rennie. These are some of his first teachers. Sensei Osaki and others. Now, he is not gonna hand out no black belt. Moses Power, Doc, he didn't give out black. You couldn't buy a black belt. You can't kiss up, no. Because they want to know that you can be like Frida Gibbs, Frida the Cheetah. Frida the Cheetah Gibbs used to play domino over at a girlfriend house. She's a female. She had a girlfriend, a friend girl. And the guy started coming around that knew the girl. And they all be playing. One night it got very late. I think the buses stopped running. And the friend girl offered was, he could take you home though. That guy ended up being a serial killer. They don't know it right now. But that night, he tried to rape and possibly even kill Frida Gibbs. What her uncles and possibly her father, but definitely her uncles, had taught her, one of the last lessons she had, one of them, when she finally got the okay, it was something they okayed, they had to okay. She had to get to a certain stage in her lessons. But then with one last chance, he said, if you can get this key, he put the key down and went to fight her. She whipped his ass, got to the key. That's when they stopped being so overbearing, overprotective, whatever. It kind of gave her a little, length on the leash kind of thing. Frida Gibbs was in that van. That man was prepared. I think he had already had some victims before her, and some came after her. He was prepared. At one point when she tried to escape, he had chained the door. She had to whip his ass. And that she did. So the teachers, that black belt, a lot of people don't be thinking. A lot of people don't be honest with themselves. And all it takes for something to happen for real, for them to realize, oh shit. And what did you have to lose to find that out? Your life, limb, or organ functioning properly, sight in one eye, both eyes, your voice box, that type of thing. That type of thing. You get castrated, disemboweled, there's a lot of things, beheaded, there's a lot of things can happen to you out here. So they don't play, because they're teaching you for out here. So, what we don't want, most definitely, is to be party to the bullshit. I don't need to lend anything to the ignorance that's found out here to become part of the blame. So if it become a litigation situation where agents, Inquisition's agents of Rome, police agents came out, and then they gotta take me in. And even so, if I get taken in, hopefully when the truth comes out to the bench, I get set free, no charges. If we're mindful, we probably never get the cuffs off. Because a lot of times, some type of tort had to transpire. Most times, that's a felony, violent crime. Even the push, the slap, contact, just contact it. And hit a piece of hair. Assault, battery. They lock you up. So we want to be in jutsu mentally, emotionally, in our seat of emotions, in our heart, and in our body. Now the martial arts, that's physical jutsu. When I can do all these things, that's jutsu. When the teacher come and kick me, bah, ay, ay, and I take it, that's physical. But somebody say, oh, puss ass nigga. Oh, my nigga, oh. And now that's not jutsu here. And that's not jutsu here. Even somebody walking by. I say when I was with Slim though, damn my fault when I walked on your feet. Somebody walking by and deliberately, and you know it was deliberate. Do I hit him in the back of the head? Do I catch up with him, spin him around? Oh, fuck, nigga. Do I do that? Or just take that pain, watch my surroundings? Because a fuck nigga working like that, he probably with some niggas. And they probably not there for you to know. They gonna wait until you do just that. Go up behind, yoke them out, whatever you do, and now they come and you can't even see them. Beep, bop, beep, beep, beep. You get jumped by 15 people. Stabbed, probably shot and killed. All because it started. Yeah, it hurt like a motherfucker. I've been done like that at least twice. And march off that job too. Make sure it laying with the bunions and the corns and toes that will hurt the most. Grind down and march off. 2 times nigga did me like that. I lived to see one of them almost get killed. The other one, we became friends over time, but I didn't know who he was. I went back over there with Cherokee Chris Billow. Who the fuck that is, man? Hey, blah, blah, blah. They laugh. They just don't know. They ain't know me like that back then. 93, they ain't know me like that. My own hood, they ain't know me like that. I was out of town so much. I'd have snatched his ass off the street. For real, permanently. Permanent, for real. And like I keep saying, because it's the truth. If it wasn't for what Mike Jabot did to me, a lot of people. Because me prior to that, I'd take off. But when Mike Jabot did what he did, and I got the itinerary, I don't know nothing else that got more importance than that. And nothing ever did really get that important, except one motherfucking thing. But circumstances kept us apart. I couldn't get to that one thing. Other than that, from the judges to the police to the FNs in the street, the stupid hole, where nothing gonna stop me from being able to be free in a free world and get my position, which I deem necessary to carry out my functions and straighten that little bit right there. Like I do when I do what I do. It ain't my fault. I didn't earn it. I didn't deserve it. I didn't ask for it. I didn't pay for it. Didn't beg for it. Nigga took it upon themselves to do that. I had nothing to do with that decision. That's a grown-ass man, older than me. My senior, older than me. I came out in 91. What year that fuck nigga came out? And we got some good-ass churches and school in DeKalb County and Fulton County. He know better. He ain't retarded. And ain't nobody finna get in my face. Definitely ain't finna be talking to me in no threatening tone about their cousin, their brother, and that nigga please. Nigga please. Before I even look you in your face and tell you like I'm telling your fuck ass right now. Back then, he was just gonna die. That's period. No rap. Player, none. That nigga gonna come up dead or missing. point blank. Who left that body right there? They don't know. Where he at? Don't nobody know. If I couldn't do it like that, it wouldn't get done. So I ain't talking to Randolph White, Gary Evans, Jamal Mackey, Bernard Mitchell, Darryl Reeves, Mike Murphy, Karate Randy, Big Pokey, no goddamn body. Rico Maxwell, nobody. Eastwick, nobody. Just me. Now, and it ain't the time, it's the circumstance. My sensei, Jerry Dixon, said, I'm making you into tacticians. I came into his class as a tactician. I ain't learned but so much from him. Now, so proper goals dictate strategy. Strategy dictate tactics. Tactics dictate technique. Proper goals dictate strategy. Strategy dictate tactics. Tactics dictate technique. So therefore, when a certain year came about, any strategy I ever could come up with, I know for a fact, not today, not tomorrow, not next year.
Hey, real quick.
Yeah, what's up?
Are you talking to someone?
I'm recording right now.
Are you recording? All right, because
Bravo 5,
somebody's calling here.
Go ahead.
Somebody's calling that you're causing a disturbance. You're talking really loud. You're screaming.
So I'm too loud for who?
You're screaming. Somebody called.
Yeah, but on this part of the park is nobody. Matter of fact, there's nobody on the park.
Well, somebody called. So they don't want you. You can't be here.
I can't be here. How can I not? This is the park.
Still, you can't be here.
I pay to be here. I'm a member.
Hey, brother. Let me explain to you real quick.
The park is this is the park. I pay to be
Why are you
here.
getting mad though?
Because listen, this is the third time this shit done happened.
Okay. So-
Not you guys.
I'm not
But
here.
wait, somebody keeps doing that no matter what position I pick. That's the third different position. That police can't use is more than this. Now, whoever that person is, what always happens when you guys get here and you guys talk to me. Well, wait, listen.
It's my first time seeing you.
Listen. When Hollandale police finishes talking and find out who is this fool they've been called about and find it's not a fool, and I tell them what I tell them, they go about their way and I go about my day. Somebody's calling y'all, telling y'all something different.
All right, well,
But what I just told y'all is what I always tell the police.
Listen, you're here screaming, all right, and they don't want that.
Who is they? That's what I'm saying. Who is they?
You're fucking screaming here.
Hey, somebody. So look.
So wait. I come here 7 days a week. Now this park gets so loud you can hear it down the street.
Hey, quick question.
But
You got baseball, you got soccer, and no, I'm recording.
Hey, quick question. You think we're responding for no reason? We're just
No, I just told you that.
Hey, look, it's a simple.
But what I'm saying is this. You said I'm not supposed to be here. I'm a member. I pay to be
Doesn't
here.
matter.
So I tell you what, I'm gonna keep paying here and I'm not gonna come here no more. How stupid is that?
We didn't say that. We didn't say that.
No, you did just say that. He said don't matter.
Wait, let me talk. What do you pay here? What do you pay?
I paid as a member.
As a member of what?
God damn.
Hey, brother,
You don't pay to come to a park.
The only thing I said was that you can't be.
Look, listen.
So if you pay the YMCA, you pay the YMCA.
We use Peter Blueston Park.
Yeah.
Millions of us out of that building come out here. Personal trainers, this and that and the third.
That's YMCA. This is the park.
This the same as the park is louder than
We as
YMCA.
police officers, we enforce the park law.
But that's what I'm trying to show y'all.
So if we
whoever
wanna
is calling
if we wanna
y'all,
trespass
listen,
you from here-
whoever is calling y'all, the park get louder than that. The kids, man, the kids crazy as
I don't
hell.
have a problem with you staying here.
So why is it just me and I never see nobody else get when they get loud?
Can we explain to you, bro? Why you're getting mad for no reason? We're not even getting mad.
First, let me set this down.
I'm speaking to you in a proper way, correct? I'm speaking to you in a proper way.
Yeah, but usually when I tell them that, they understand. Because I've been asked that. Why are you here? And I understand that part because, wait, let me just say this. I fully understand what position they put you guys in. Because these days, I could be a damn active shooter, anything. I could be out of my mind. But when you finally get here and talk to me and see, it can't be what they said for y'all to come like y'all came. It's not even that. And I'm telling you what it is. So usually they be like, oh, okay. But now you say I can't, when you say I can't, I'm like, why?
Right.
How can I not be here if I pay to be here?
All right, listen. I was parked there and I saw you
And
screaming.
it can't be
if
them,
you're gonna
it can't
stay
be
here,
them.
yo,
it gotta be somebody
yo,
that
can you
paused,
listen or I'm gonna kick you
or
out?
some people
Hey,
paused on the
we're
curb
giving
and
you
went
a
in and came
yo,
back.
we're giving you a
It had to be
solution.
somebody
if you
like
stay
that.
here, don't be screaming.
Don't be
alright?
screaming, you're good.
Because if we
You're good to
come
me.
back, then you have to leave.
So the bottom line is too loud.
Yeah, I was
Correct,
parked
you were
there and I could
screaming.
hear
somebody,
from there.
Somebody that was passing by saw you screaming.
I wasn't screaming. Listen, I was talking. Like when y'all came. When you first got here, I was at the same bar. Now listen, when they get out of school and shit, this motherfucker be on the chain. You got baseball, soccer games, you
I know,
got the
but those are
baseball,
sports.
basketball.
Those are sports.
That's
You know what
I'm filming. I'm teaching martial arts on my YouTube channel.
But just don't be screaming at a.
Just don't be screaming.
What I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say. It be louder than that.
I know, but those are
So
sports.
somebody, it's
Those
not.
are
I ain't
sports.
blaming y'all. It's somebody who doing this shit. That's being an asshole. Cause they all. Matter of fact, when I was over here, the two positions I took over there, I wasn't loud. But I wasn't as loud as I was now. I admit I am loud, but I'm not too loud for the part.
Yeah.
That's why they designate a part. This when you go, you kick the heavy bag, you wrestle. You know what I'm saying?
know.
You all that shit that you can't do in the library and in the grocery store and all that. This when you come to do it, and everybody does it.
Yeah, they should.
So it's some asshole calling saying that shit, man.
Listen,
But I heard you.
We just
And I'm
gotta
not
call.
going against what you
We just
said.
gotta call about you
Listen,
screaming
I'm not
here,
going
right?
against what you just.
If you're
what you
recording,
asked me to do,
if,
I'm gonna do that.
What do you do? What class do you teach?
Right now, that right there is martial arts.
Martial arts.
Yeah.
All right. So if you're doing that,
And it's
are you okay?
It's,
You
what it
feel
is, what
okay?
it is, what it is
You feel
fight,
okay?
it's fight science. So it's not so much as the body mechanic, it's your thinking. That's why I had to talk.
Yeah.
You see.
All right, so
And if you ever look at like professional boxing, when they go in the corner, and even when they in the ring, what you hear the corner saying? Because the mindset of the actual fighter, if you can tell, like you raising a child, you told your child the same shit since they were 2, 3, 4, 5, they 18 years old, you tell them the same shit. It tend to get you like that, as the father, the trainer, whatever you, because it's not sinking in.
Right.
So I'm getting caught up. I'm getting caught up in my thing. But like I say, man, this shit be off the chain.
Hey,
dog.
real quick, so I can say my part since you were saying your part, right? All right, so the only thing, we're not kicking you out. We're just letting you know if you're gonna stay
Be
here.
quiet.
If you're gonna stay here, obviously you know there's a state statute that talks about having causing
That's what I
disturbance.
say is ridiculous because this shit be loud as hell, man.
I know, but those are sports.
But I'm saying
And then
is
you
that-
got the noise pollution
I
from
know-
music from the car.
I know it's that stupid-
Horn blowing, man. They be off the chain.
But I know it's as stupid as it sounds. If we get a call,
No,
our
it ain't
job is to
stupid for
respond.
y'all. I'm saying the person that's calling y'all. That's fucked.
Hey, but
Cause this make the third time.
every day we receive these dumb calls.
This make the third time for me personally on this part.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So like I said, it can lead up to causing disturbance. You're good to be in the park. Just don't.
Yeah, I
don't
got-
talk
I got
at
you
a
on
level
that.
where
Hold
other
it
people
down.
are gonna pass by and they're gonna want to call police on you.
But
right?
that's fucked up. Though.
Alright, man.
Let me ask you this: when you got out your car and you can actually hear, would you consider that too loud?
I mean,
I was
if
parked
I'm
over
hearing
there and I
you
could
from
hear
over there. If I'm hearing you from over there and you're loud, I heard you from inside. My windows are not down.
Because I know if I'm out there or in here, when everybody here, that's what you hear. You can hear the baseball.
What I'm saying is, when
You
I
can,
was
you can hear the basketball court. You can hear the soccer.
When I was-
Sometimes the kids just hang around a little gazebo right there, and you can hear,
Yeah.
and it carries.
Alright,
So but I like I say, I ain't giving y'all no hard time. I know y'all got, but like I say, I could be a weirdo for real. You know, it's
Somebody
good.
just
That's
passed
the
by.
good part about that.
And they were concerned.
You know what I'm saying?
They were concerned because I saw
that's why
someone
I
speaking
ain't
at a-
trying to give you no. But when y'all say what y'all say, I'm like, that's it.
And
Like
listen,
it ain't like I want to search you because you might have a gun, you might be trying to snipe some people. Nah, I'll be with that. I understand that
Probably
shit,
the
'cause
guy-
shit like
probably
that.
the
be
person
happening.
that called
But when they
didn't even
say
see the
that,
phone.
I'm like, what? Here? Because the other two times it wasn't so much. No, one main time. When I was right there by the pool, he was like, "Why are you here?" And when I told him what I told y'all, he was still like, I wasn't making sense. I'm like, chill. That's what you told him. Or the private notion. If you're not at home.
I did this.
But he was looking at me like I was in the wrong place to be doing what I'm doing.
This looks good. It's part. It's loosely part. It's not part of one.
I know. But they work in
This
conjunction.
is Highland Double. I'm saying it's
Yeah,
separate.
they work in conjunction. Because a lot of programs, it's in there. PAL, all that shit is in there.
Yeah.
All right, man. Just try to keep it at a decent level, right?
All right.
All right, man.
I'm wrapping this up. I ain't in the mood for this no more. 1 hour and 34 minutes. That's it. They done blew it for me. Fuck that shit.